This summer, as the days get longer and the temperatures get warmer and your schedule starts to relax a little bit, make sure that your kids' sleep doesn't suffer. You don't want your kiddo getting overtired from all that summer fun. I call this the summer slide. If this happens, you're going to be seeing big emotions and meltdowns on the regular. Here's 6 tips to avoid the summer slide. When I think about summer, when I was a kid, I think about fun summer camps and really long days at the pool with lots of popsicles and lots of cookouts. And I'm pretty sure that's what my summer is going to look like for my kids this year, and probably the same for a lot of you. But the one thing that you don't want to miss out on this summer is good sleep for you or your child. Because without good sleep, you're going to be dealing with a kid who is crabby, who's inflexible, who's clingy, and who just acts like a Debbie Downer no matter what fun things you have planned. Let's avoid that at all costs. Here's 6 things that you can do to avoid the summer slide. All right, number 1 is set a summer schedule. Now, kids love routine. They really thrive on that. They really like to know what's happening in their day. And just because the summer days might look a little bit different doesn't mean they totally have to lack structure. So I really like the idea of creating like a visual guide for your child so they know kind of what to expect from each day. And maybe this is something you do on the weekend to plan ahead for the upcoming week. And it can include something like breakfast, go to camp, eat lunch at home, quiet time, play outside, dinner, family time, in bed, something like that. And it may look different for every week, and that's okay. But it just gives your kid a sense of kind of what's going to happen within each day. And I love to try to give kids choices if you can. If you can let them choose what they want to have for lunch, or maybe let them pick a board game or something that you're going to do during family time. Giving them choices really helps them through their day as well. And remember, your kid needs their sleep. So the goal is for your child to be sleeping 10 to 12 hours at night. And this isn't just like a nice to have if we're home in time, right? This is something that needs to be a priority. So make sure you are prioritizing nap time and bedtime. Number 2, make sure that your kiddo has a dark bedroom. So in the summer, the sun can set pretty late. I mean, in some places it's bright until like 9 o'clock or even later. And then also the sun could be rising really early too where you live. Like where I am in Connecticut, the sun, I mean, it's bright sun at 5:20 in the morning. It's crazy. So making blackout curtains your best friend this time of year is really important. So you can get drapes for your kids' room that come lined with a blackout liner. But if you already have drapes in there, you can go on Amazon and buy a blackout liner to hang behind the drapes that you already have. You can also go to like Lowe's or Home Depot and buy shades that actually fit inside of your window that pull down that are light blocking. I mean, heck, you can tape up black trash bags in your kid's window if you really need to. If you're still seeing some light seeping in from the sides of your blackout curtains, because I know that happens a lot if you have those blackout drapes, you can get double-sided Velcro and actually like Velcro the sides of the drapes to the wall to prevent the light from coming through. But really having a dark bedroom is really important because it signals to our body that it's time for sleep. Number 3, enjoy the sun. So while we want to limit sun exposure when it's time for bed, we want to use sun exposure to our advantage. And that means getting your kid outside in the afternoon because exposure to sunlight helps to regulate our circadian rhythm, which is really important for sleep. So in the afternoon, get your kid outside, run around in the yard, walk the dog, hit the playground, whatever you can do to get them some sun exposure in the afternoon is going to really help bedtime. Number 4, keep a consistent sleep routine. You want to make sure that you're putting your kiddo down to bed around the same time every night. If your kid is under 6 years old, the ideal bedtime is going to be before 8 p.m. And you really don't want this bedtime to fluctuate more than about 15 minutes or so because we want your kid to get used to getting tired around the same time every night. It's like it builds up like their sleep muscle memory. And the goal is to have them sleeping for 10 to 12 hours every night. Now, yes, I understand when I'm talking about an early bedtime, that might mean that you have to say no to some evening invitations that are going to keep you out past bedtime. But if you've ever seen what your kid is like when they're real cranky and overtired and their whole sleep schedule is thrown off, I think you'll probably realize that leaving the cookout a little bit early is probably worth it. All right, tip number 5 is follow the 90% rule. Now, while I do want you to keep a consistent bedtime most of the time, we have to be realistic that there are going to be nights where we need to keep our toddler up past their bedtime. So what I want you to do is follow the 90% rule, where 90% of the time your kiddo is going to bed on time. I mean, there's no need to keep them out late every single night. So if you've got a kid who has pretty good sleep habits, meaning they're getting their 10 plus hours of sleep every night and they're not waking up all the time in the middle of the night, then it's okay to keep them out late, maybe once a week or so. If you follow this rule, it's going to make it easier for your kiddo to bounce back after a late night without totally ruining the good sleep habits you have in place. Number 6, take their PJs with you. If you know that you're going to be staying out late at a friend's house, go ahead and take your kids' PJs with you and change them before you head home. This way, it's just like one less thing you have to deal with when you get home. But also, if your kid falls asleep in the car, you can try to transfer them to their bed without waking them up. If you want to learn more about my 4-part rest method to turn your kiddo into an awesome little sleeper, click the link in the notes to join my next free toddler sleep masterclass.